When we talk about heritage and history, I think it's very easy to think about the not so happy parts of South Africa's history. Is it important to be thinking about those times and remembering that?
Well, one of the objectives that we have as museums is to bring into conversation the historical aspects, to bring into memory and to acknowledge our not so happy past. And one of the ways in which we attempt to do that is one of our museums is called the Zico Slave Lodge. And the Slave Lodge is significant because it used to be a space of tribulation for many slaves. It was a difficult space. It has a very complex history. And we have shaped this space into creating awareness of human rights. Recently, I think early in June, we announced the discovery of the slave wreck São José, which was discovered just off Clifton. And through our Heritage Week program and our discussions, we will be bringing into memory those slaves who passed away and also those slaves who survived, and to speak about that history and its impact on our heritage today.
Should we feel uncomfortable speaking about that part of our history?
Oh, it depends on what you consider to be your learning. Let me think about that. I have watched a lot of the videos, I have read a lot of the material, and as a human being, you cannot help but feel emotive. You cannot help but consider how the circumstances of the day could have potentially impacted your forefathers and your foremothers. To feel as though that becomes a barrier for you to move forward, that's a difficult perspective to have, but also to take that learning and to think, how then can I, as a South African citizen, because that is what we're celebrating. This is our heritage. We are South Africans. We are part of the Rainbow Nation. So how do I take our historical learning and move forward into the future?
Now, Iziko Museums of South Africa are open for free this week, for the whole week. Why was it important for you to do that and become accessible to all South Africans, regardless of class or culture or race? I mean, anyone can come to the museum this week, all the time, really, but it's free this week.
There's a famous quote, and the author eludes me right now, that says, "Museums provide the roots to our roots." And I think that it is important for citizens as well as for visitors to our country to experience our cultural heritage and the diversity of our cultural heritage by visiting our museums. One of the reasons that the museums are free is to ensure access. In the past, people perceived museums as staid, old, boring spaces that are for certain people. One of the objectives that we as a museums have is to dispel that notion and to ensure that every single body, not only of this country, but every single citizen, whether you're from Mitchells Plain, Manenberg or Muizenberg, feel ownership of, that they have the right to explore, to experience and to engage with their cultural heritage. And essentially that is what encapsulates our theme for this year, which is to celebrate, debate and elevate your heritage. And we're not saying that accept things as they are, have the discussion, pose the questions, interrogate yourself and celebrate what we have.